Good Wednesday evening, everyone. I'm still having trouble remembering my days. Some days are just kind of crazy, and today was one of those days, just kind of a very unplanned day, but that's okay. It's time to rest. Well, almost. I still have a little bit more things to take care of before I go to bed, but the majority is done. So, this morning didn't quite go how it should have gone, but that's okay. Everything worked out in the end. And so my exercise, my cardio didn't even start till, or concentrated cardio, let me put it that way, didn't even start till this afternoon. And I just, again, housework. I had things I had to take care of this morning, and it was housework. It's amazing what happens when you lose a weekend of cleaning. So once I got everything taken care of this morning, then this afternoon I did housework. So you will see my food intake today reflected how busy my day was and how crazy my day was. So you'll see that. I did have breakfast, but yeah, it wasn't a ton, and it wasn't it wasn't made by me. It was made by getting it out of my fridge and getting it out of my container. So, and then for lunch and for dinner, I went ahead and got something that wasn't cooked by me. But I felt like, okay, the first thing, I don't know, I guess I'll explain what I had today. So breakfast this morning was one of those little Danimal smoothies. It's got 10 sugars in it, which I don't like, but it is yogurt. And it's one of those things, if I drink it slow, have water, and then I have mixed nuts that I can have it with. And so I had a big old handful of mixed nuts, had that, and had some water, and it just helps me get started whenever I'm not having a good morning and not feeling well or worried, or things don't go quite as planned. So that works for me. In fact, whenever I took my blood sugar, a fasting blood sugar, in June, knowing that I needed to drink it slowly and I had some nuts there, it helped me after my fasting sugar not raise my sugar real high, because I would just lightly sip it, drink some water, have a few nuts, and then just continually to slowly let my sugar come up. And I didn't have the same problems as last year. Last year it was scary, because I hadn't had a fasting blood sugar in a long time. And fortunately, my mom was with me, and I was already home, but it was one of those things like, ooh, the sugar kicked back in and it's resettling. Anyway, if you've ever had that experience, you know what I'm talking about. So then lunch, I don't know if y'all have it where you're at. I know they have them here in Texas, but it's called Firehouse Subs. And it supports local firehouses. So whatever you order, some of what you pay for in your order actually goes towards equipment to help local firehouses, voluntary firehouses, things like that. And I have 2 cousins that are in the fire department, and several friends that are firefighters. So, I feel like, okay, well, hopefully I'm helping somebody whenever I get something from there. So I got me a tuna with lots of veggies sub. It was a wheat sub, and then got one of their chilies. Their chilies are so good, just a small chili. And then for dinner, I don't know if y'all have it where you're at, but we certainly do in Texas, a Boston Market. They do this turkey breast that is so good, and I put a little bit of their gravy on it, not much, just a little bit. And then you can get steamed vegetables with it, and of course it comes with like a little cornbread. And then I got a Caesar salad, like a small Caesar salad that came with it. Didn't put all the dressing, just put a little bit. And so I had that for dinner, and it was good. I felt like, even though I didn't make stuff, at least I felt like I was making good choices, not the perfect choices. Probably had too much bread today, but that's okay. Some days that's the way it goes. But I feel like everything else, I did. I felt like I was doing what I needed to do for me. I didn't have any fruit today. Oh well, I'll have fruit tomorrow. So, then this evening, I just got done being out in the garden and taking care of all that, bending down, transplanting plants, doing all this. So, and then I've been bending down. I have if you've been hearing the beeping in the background, that's my stove. The timer is going nuts, so there's probably a short in the timer. Otherwise, the stove and oven work well. But if you're anything like me, you keep some pans in the oven. So I had to find a spot for those, and I did. It was just, you got to bend down, lift up, bend down, lift up, get the stuff out. And then my oven has a tray underneath instead of the broiler. It's a tray to put all of your like any of your pots and pans. So I had quite a few in there, so I had to find a place for that, which I did. Just a few unexpected things today, and so that's just the way it goes. But that's okay. That's life, You got to roll with the punches. If you can't roll with the punches, then it's not a fun life. But anyway, I try and laugh or smile along the way. I remember just a little story about me when I was a teenager and even a young adult. I would go on mission trips, like just to spread the word of God, with other people from other countries and stuff. So the last one I ever took was a long one. It was 6 weeks in the country of Ukraine. If you know anything about Europe, Ukraine is having to deal with Russia right now. But I was there in the summer of 2001 before we got hit on September 11th. I was there, I think it was June and July. Yeah, I was there June and July and was helping with local churches there and missionaries and things like that. And so the first week we were in the capital city, and me and the girl I knew from college, we were in charge the second week of preparing 2 meals a day for about 32 people, with 2 of them having food allergies, and they were fellow Americans, but still, it was like, oh my goodness. So we had that task, and we had some sweet girls in the church that were just amazing. They were really sweet. They were helpful. We had a huge language barrier, but it didn't matter because we were all working together. That's one thing that I've noticed being in other countries, even though there is, some language barrier, if you're all in sweet spirits and all in a helping mood, you can still get a lot done. It's amazing, even though there's cultural differences, you can still work together. You can still be happy together. You can still be respectful of each other, It's just how you choose to take on life. But anyway, so the night before we were supposed to do all this, the missionary's teenage daughter and I were trying to get this table from an office they had in the apartment the girl and I were staying with that was also from my college. And so we were trying to get this big old table out of the office into the hallway and into the kitchen. Needless to say, I still have photo evidence of that. I won't put it up because I, don't want to share anything about her since I'm not able to keep in touch, but, like, there we are. Okay, there's the table there. We turn it here. Okay, nope, that didn't work. And then we're both just dying laughing, and we are just, oh my goodness, it was hilarious. We were having fun in a stressful situation, and finally, we got it in, yay. Finally, and we used that table that week, let me tell you, and it just ended up staying in that kitchen. So oh my goodness. But one of those things in life when things don't go quite right, if you try and put on a smile and have a good attitude, you can get through it a lot easier. Not to say that I don't get frustrated and mad at situations, which I did Saturday, but when it's all said and done, once you show kind of a light within yourself, once you show that to others, then it's like, okay, if they can get through this situation and still be this way. Sorry about that. That was my battery. So if you saw a blank screen, that was just the way it goes. But anyway, but just try in my life. It's not always going to be that way, but try in my life to have a smile. I may be going through a hard time, but I try and have a smile because I have an inner peace from the Lord within. So that's where I get that extra smile from. But anyway, I hope y'all are doing well, and I'm just going to remind you, the win video, hint, hint, and Friday at 6 p.m., hint, hint, So I'm just gonna drop that in there tonight. But anyway, I hope y'all are all doing well. It was wonderful to catch up with Wendy again today. I like that. And I just, the new subscribers again today, I was able to accrue. It's just amazing, just the community I did not expect in YouTube. And thank y'all for joining me. I look forward to getting to know y'all and continuing to share my journey with everyone. And if you like this video, hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, join my journey, and don't forget that notification bell, y'all, so you know every time I release a video. And part of this evening's activity, I took the trash, I checked the mail, and I came across a cottontail, so you'll see a little video at the end of that, and then some beautiful sky we had today, and I even snuck in a picture of Smokey and Casper relaxing after a very rough day today. Hope y'all are doing well, and we will catch you tomorrow. Goodness, y'all, do you see the little cottontail? Trying to be quiet. Oh my goodness, it's so precious. There's our little cottontail out and about this evening as I'm going to check some mail. Hello, sweet one.